All right, Sarah. Sarah, where are you from originally? Where do you grow up?
Pleasanton, California, in the East Bay.
Tell me about your family growing up. You had mom and dad?
Yeah, my brother's 3 years younger than me. I was born in 90, he was born in 93. My mom and dad were together until in high school, and they both still live in Pleasanton. And we were really lucky, I mean, in a lot of ways, to be in a community where, there was really good schools and like sports and things, but I still found my way to trouble.
Why do you think that was?
Why?
Was there anything you went through as a kid that was...
Oh, well, I mean, I really did not identify with the, ideology of Pleasanton. I really, was not cut from the same cloth, I felt like. So I rebelled against that pretty hard and against a lot of things. And, I don't know, probably pretty typical stuff. But, I don't know. I definitely went to, sex, drugs, and rock and roll after when I discovered it. I played sports up until then, even for my high school. But when I was 14 or 15, I kind of was like, going a different way.
Are you the black sheep of your family?
I'm like the purple sheep. I don't know. I guess you could say so. Right now, for sure, because I'm not in touch with them. But I mean, I'm definitely not typical for my family at all. So yeah, I guess so.
Did you graduate high school?
And college.
You did?
Yeah, I went to San Francisco State. And I graduated in 2013 while on heroin, to my surprise.
How did heroin come into your life? Or hard drugs come into your life?
Music is probably my biggest passion, one of them. And I was just really involved in the music, punk and hardcore and noise music scene in Oakland, Berkeley, and San Francisco, and high school and beyond. I was just in music and drugs go hand in hand. So a lot of my friends were older than me. A lot of them were doing hard drugs. It was my choice to no one forced me to do anything, but I was just I was desensitized to it because I was around a lot of people doing it, and that was just natural to me. I mean, it wasn't shocking to me anymore. So that was probably the reason why it didn't seem like such a big deal when I started to. I was always considered the good girl because I never shot up, and I was kind of not as fucked up. Maybe, I don't know. I was a lot younger too, and I was in college. So
you were somewhat functional.
Yes, yeah. I mean, and I had some support from my family too. So but I was in college, and I had a car and apartment and stuff. But I always tried to my resource. I always tried to bring people to show. If I had a car, I was going to drive my friends to the show. I wasn't going to It was nice to have resources to share with my friends, even though they didn't have. Everyone has different resources. So at that time, I had a lot more. Now I don't have very many resources anymore. But
how many years have you been on the street?
It's 7, maybe.
How old are you now?
I'm going to be 34 next month.
And you're here in the Tenderloin. What is life like for a female on the Tenderloin?
Oh man, it's an uphill battle. I mean, life for females in a lot of places are difficult and even more difficult. But being an attractive female, it works against you probably more than it works for you, to be honest. I don't know. I just try to maintain my own standards and boundaries. It's a great test of how you lay out your boundaries and how you maintain them even more so. So, I mean, I kind of consider it a testing ground of because ultimately, in another phase of life, I don't think to me, it's almost a disposable phase of my life where I can try to just I'm treating it I can just kind of experiment, just to see if I can really talk to just about anybody or whatever, just engage. And if I make mistakes, it's irrelevant because I'm just already in this environment where people have all made mistakes. So it's kind of in a way it feels safe in that way, but it's extremely dangerous in a lot of other ways. I mean, I've been thoroughly traumatized. So, but it's just where I've chosen to, or ended up being, I guess.
What's the worst thing you've been through?
I mean, it's not unique, but I've been kidnapped twice. You can imagine, I've been raped, kidnapped, bullied, extorted, intimidated, beat up. I'm not a very violent person. And that's unusual because out there, a lot of people feel they need to prove themselves through violence or whatever. That's just traditional for the street, but that's not really my MO. I'm my offense and my defense is being nice. And it works actually a lot of time for me because it's who I am. So, and even people who are more distorted or like more like different, even they can sense that it's not bullshit, like typically. Like, so, I mean, I've had it a lot better than some people have had a lot worse than me maybe because they choose to try to run game on somebody or get over on someone. I don't seek to do that. So that's a way you can sometimes avoid bad things happening to you, but sometimes people put it on you regardless and target you. So it's just, sometimes it's just luck of the draw.
What is your drug now?
I do crack and fentanyl now. I don't like fentanyl. It's killing all my friends. I do the smallest amount possible because I've died a couple times. It's terrifying. So I just do maintain to stay well, but crack is probably my drug of choice now. I mean, it's definitely the one I prefer. I just don't want to be, it just balance it out with the fentanyl really. So, but it's getting so strong. I can't even just in the past couple of weeks, like I've never had seizures before, but I've had 2 seizures in the past 3 weeks, like from the ISO fentanyl. Like it's just, I don't smoke that much. So I don't know. It's scaring me. I want to stop.
Where do you stay?
I stay with friends. I kind of go with the flow. I'm unusual, I guess, in that respect. But I have a lot of really kind, generous, genuine and generous people that I met. I mean, maybe 1 in every 16 people is like decent. You mean Tenderloin? Like I've been fortunate to know some people that have really like, I wouldn't be here without them. They let me be in a safe space or put a roof over my head or fed me and like, let me recover from whatever I've been through. So, that's where I stay right now, like just with a few friends.
And how do you make money?
Every day is different. Sometimes, I mean,
you can be honest.
Sometimes, like, I mean, basically I want to say any girl that goes out there and says that they don't do dates is probably lying. I mean, like, it's like, I mean, everyone's exchanging things, whatever it may be, like resources and things out there, like, and it's like, it's kind of like a red light district, I guess, right? So it's always like, an exchange. So, I mean, I'm pretty,
for men too.
I just try not to do things that make me feel bad. So I try to do things that I would do naturally anyway. So if in that case, like, I'm kind of not I worry a lot. I'm anxious. So I'm not a great criminal. Like, so, I mean, I kind of just, take it day by day. I mean, sometimes I've worked for like, I don't know. I don't want to like incriminate myself.
You survive.
I survive. I get
find
by.
a way to survive.
Yeah, and I mean it's all like network and like people like like it's everyone has if you don't have something, someone else might have it. And like, I mean, as long as you don't like play the game wrong, like don't steal from your friends, don't be an asshole. I mean, like just like try and when I have something, I try to pay it forward. If someone asks me for something, and even if I don't know them, sometimes I just do it. Like and then in turn it happens for me. So.
What is your relationship like with your family now?
We don't talk now, but that's because I just I don't want to just call them and say, oh, here I am still doing the same thing, like, and just disrupt their lives and their day, like with the same, like, for ongoing crisis. Like, I just need to handle it. So when I have something tangible, different to tell them, I will, but I mean, I just don't know, like, there's nothing like new right now to like, I mean, like, so what's new? I'm still kind of like, I'm kind of ready to like step into the next phase because I've been kind of burying my head in the sand here. So I don't know. I've reached out to them a little bit, but I could do better with that. They're just in Pleasanton, so it's not that far.
You don't have children?
No.
You've been in love before?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah. But I probably like, I think like in my life, like that's probably been like a lot of my energy has been spent in my relationships, but just in general, like not just romantic ones, but I'm a very loving person. But it's very hard in Tenderloin, like you have to really protect yourself a lot. Like in any environment, like Skid Row, in any like tough environment, you have to have some armor too. And I'm a highly sensitive person, so it's easy for me. I'm very candid. I'm very like genuine. Like you have to protect yourself too. So it's hard to be. It's not a very conducive environment to falling in love now. So I've been like single for like 6 years. Like I tried to have a boyfriend recently. It didn't go well. So
what is the hardest part of
I don't know
living this life?
That is. I mean, just everybody's been so traumatized and betrayed by people, they become what they hate in turn. Like, they feel entitled. Like, there's a lot of entitlement. Like, oh, someone stole my backpack, now I need a backpack, so I feel entitled to steal someone else's backpack, and then it just keeps going and going, and everyone gets screwed over at one point. Everyone learns the lessons, like, and it gets in some. It's how you deal with it, right? Because the same things happen to people. So, I mean, to me, it's like a big. It's really hard to like maintain who I am, and not change into what. As a product of my environment, and sell, just become, it's just another way of selling out, but it's just like giving up, like, to me, like, I don't want to look in the mirror and see someone that like looks like a crackhead that like doesn't take care of themselves, that like, have that be my dad. I mean, I try to take care of myself as much as I can, but it's just the hardest, but yeah, just everybody's so standoffish and like distant because of like what they've been through, and because they kind of just become all the same kind of like salty, bitter, not everybody, but just like my stuff got stolen again, like this and that, like everyone's fucking me over. It's like kind of makes everyone feel like they're like, including myself sometimes, some days are using others, like they're like the victim of like, victimized by all this, even though a lot of it's our own. If you're not out on fentanyl, your stuff might get stolen, but I mean, like, it's just, people are really fucked up about it. Like, did you have to steal my sketchbook too? Like, what do you do, sell that? Like, no, like, I stopped drawing because my art supplies would get stolen over and over and over again. Like, and my sketchbook, I can't afford to like constantly replace it. And like, that's, just,
What do you think people that are not in this life don't understand about drug addiction?
Oh man. Well, harm reduction for one thing is like, that if they want people, there's a lot of political upheaval going on right now in the Tenderloin in San Francisco. It's really like dramatic. I mean, like with the drug users, the Honduran drug dealers, the police, and then the politicians, and like then like the activists. There's like a lot of elements going on, converging, and like and it's not peaceful, and and a lot of people are dying from fentanyl too. So there's just a lot of like changes happening right now, and a lot of like drastic changes happening right now. I mean, like, I can see why, but also like, like the things that really are going to make a difference, like if you want to like make a difference at getting people off the street smoking, you have safe using centers, like the proven obvious answer. And people were like, not in my backyard, but like, you'd rather have people in your front yard smoking than in your backyard using inside in a place where they're safe. And if people are like in a safe using center where there's doctors and showers and like laundry, and maybe they don't get scabies, and maybe they don't get infections, and maybe they can be a little more functional, if even they're using, they may be at a higher like level of able to get a job someday sooner than before, because if they're like wrecked and they look like a drug user and they're down in that, all the, even if you get clean, you still have, it's like the residual health problems and stuff. That's, I think, a big deterrent, at least for me too. Like, I pick a lot, and like, I'm got me on a good day, but I mean, like, I have like, scars, and like, some days like it's really, a lot of makeup. Like, I mean, that's not going to help. Like, it's going to be clear that it's going to look a little bit like I'm a junkie. Like, and some people have way worse, from shooting up and stuff. They have way worse, I've seen people with their legs just rotting off. I mean, all kinds of really horrible health problems that, if there were safe using centers and stuff like that, clean equipment, like all that stuff would be so much less. There would be less people in the street just demotivated to even go help themselves, like just sitting in the back corner for 2 days. Like, I just think that there's like a lot of butting heads of like these different like political and like, law enforcement and just people, and then like just these like some of them are underserved people in the Tenderloin. Some of them are privileged people. Like, I'm from Pleasanton. I grew up upper middle class. I've chosen to be here. I could do other things, but this is just where I'm at in my life. Like, and I try not to take, I just think that like a lot of people need to like, if you're going to judge people and approach it with hate and anger, you're not going to get what you want, pretty much. So
what do you think the solution is?
The solution is not approaching it, I guess. Like one thing working with animals and being Tenderloin too has taught me is it's like, like asking, like being gentle and kind is like 100%, like you have like, I don't know, not 100%, but like you have a way more likely chance of things going in your favor of what you want than if you attack it like and head on, like, and that's why I feel like like all the things I've just described a few minutes ago, like, are all these other forces are all coming together, and then like it just in a dissonant way. Like, if you try to find solutions and not problems, like, you are going to find a solution, not a problem. I mean, like, I just think that kind of thinking in general is like way more conducive to there being real change and like helping people. I mean, I don't know everything about what solutions are, but I know harm reduction is part of it. I know that like, reserving judgment is part of it. I know that, there's having more of a community is part of it too. And I think that is like, I don't know how to make that all happen, but I just try to be kind to myself and kind to other people and speak on things that I know about and not things I don't know about. And just, that's all I can do, and hope that helps other people be kind too, or whatever they want to do.
What is your biggest regret?
How much time? I guess, I spent a lot of time, like prime time of my life, like, I don't want to say wasting away, but like one could say I've wasted it. There's a lot of things I've gained from being like a lot of wisdom, and I've learned a whole other language since I've been in Tenderloin, and like I met a lot of interesting people, and I've developed as a person. It's not all stagnant and wasted time, but there's just so many. There's so many. It's just my mind is so disorganized and so spacey and so. I mean, even my timeline of like when I got there and when things have happened, like, like what was the catalyst? What was like when did this event happen? So it's jumbled for me. So, I mean, I worry about, I regret like probably the amount of like unknown brain damage I've caused myself from, smoking on foil, from, like not sleeping and like just being abusive towards myself, like and ignoring my needs, like, just all that stuff is hard. And I know it will, if it's not affecting me now, it will have a repercussion later. So, I mean, I do regret being so hard on myself and living so hard in such a, I wish like sometimes I could give it to someone else. It's like the time in my life. If someone else would have done something more, like, impactful with it, like, instead of just, like, smoking crack on the sidewalk. I don't know,
And the quality of the drugs has gotten really, it's deteriorated a lot, hasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's deplorable. It really is. It is really disheartening. Like when the kind of like things people do. Like people take penitentiary chances on boosting things and doing the risk they take to get their money and whatever they do. And then when you spend it and it's like just like it's, oh my God, like the money. I don't even want to think about the amount of money that has been wasted on garbage. It's just hard.
You've OD'd?
Yeah.
Being a crack addict, you get fentanyl.
Well, I do fentanyl too. Yeah, the fentanyl is the reason I've overdosed, and I've overdosed. Well, one of the times was because of GHB, but the four times I think I've overdosed. I mean, like died overdosed were all because of fentanyl. And like one time was when I smoked heroin before I smoked fentanyl, and so when I was kind of transitioning, obviously my tolerance was much lower, and the drugs were. Well, the drugs are very. Serious thing is the fentanyl is getting stronger though. Like there's like this, like it's evolved a lot since it was first out here, and now there's ISO and clean, and people get high even if you're in the same vicinity as them. Like I mean, it's really powerful. Like and I've been smoking it for a couple of years, and I'm still a lightweight. Like it still affects me a lot, and yeah, like I said, even just in the past couple of weeks, like I've started to have like unexpected reactions. I overdosed. I had the worst overdose I've had so far, and I had a seizure, which is not normal for me, and that freaks me out. So I mean, it's just nothing to play with.
Do you think there's a chance that you'll be down here the rest of your life?
No, absolutely not. I don't think that.
What's going to change that?
I'm getting bored. It's boring, and and a lot of people aren't around anymore, and that's devastating. And it's just like it's a hard way to live. I don't know. I mean. There are a lot of other ways a lot of other places you can consume drugs if you wanted to. But I mean, like, I think there's an addiction to like, or like people get, including myself, get caught up in like the lifestyle and like, it's like, just the whole thrill of the chase, just common addiction stuff, like, getting the money, seeking out the source, like getting and then using the drug and then like, whatever, like, just the whole process of it is like people get caught up in this loop. Like they don't even know when to stop. Like it's like like some of my friends that have consistent hustles every day, like they have almost like, it's like a job. They say I'm going to work. Like they're going to go and they never stop working. Like they're always just raising the money, whatever they do, raising the money to get what they need and then do what they need and raising the money. It's like, it's just, it seems exhausting. It is exhausting.
What's your biggest fear now?
I'm very fearful that I will die like in a bathroom in the Tenderloin, like, in a fucking SRO or something. That's just so not, not cool, not okay. And that's almost happened. So I mean, like, I'm very fearful that I will not get a chance to explore more of myself and my potential, and like the things that everybody wants in life, like have a kid, or like, have more stability, and like do something that has of some importance, like in the world, like, like
You're,
in the
you're
world.
aware that you're
I'm worried that I'm just
you're
worried
wasting
about
some of the
wasting.
best
Like, I know
years of your life.
I know I have things I can work with. I know I mean, I studied graphic design in school. I'm very creative. I have, like, I know that I have a potential, and like, I know that it's like, it's an egregious waste of potential, like, to be doing what I'm doing. And I think it's kind of a punishment on myself in a way. But a lot of people are very confused. Like, why are you here? What are you doing here? Like, and I'm like, I don't know. Don't ask me. But, like, it's just, yeah, I'm very fearful that, like, that I won't talk, that I won't be stable enough by my standards to reconnect with my family before, like, something happens. That scares me too. So I need to take, I don't know. I just don't want to let things pass me by you can't get time back. You can't get time back. So, I can be like, just have fun and be young and whatever, but I'm going to be 34. It's not that young anymore. So, I mean, I kind of like need to like evaluate, like, what the rest of my 30s is going to be like, because I'm just not very stimulating anymore. It's not very fun anymore. Mm-hmm. That was not really fun in the first place, but I mean, like, it's not, and I think I need to take some steps to transition, because I'm getting tired of it. I'm exhausted.
Are you choosing to do it, or are you stuck here?
I think it's a mix of both. I mean, like,
to me, what I see is it's a self-worth problem.
Yeah, I think so.
That's really what it's all about.
A lot of, like, I had a lot of trauma in really small.
No one would choose to be in this.
Yeah, and a lot of people, especially people that really don't, like, people who were born, like, in certain, like, areas and stuff, like, and then whatever, didn't have opportunities. Like, I think that, like, the reason I don't even, like, have GA, I don't have food stamps, I've never had I don't have government housing. I just think that those resources are there for people who really, really need them. And, like, if I'm, like, I don't want to take up someone's space, but at the same time, I need help too. So it's like, I don't know, like, it is a self-punishment, self-worth thing, definitely. And I say it to other people, like, be more gentle on yourself. Like, like, because I want to be, that's my goal for myself too. Mm-hmm. Like, but I don't know, I need to be doing more proactive about it, because I think it's pretty critical for me to get out of the state that I'm in, the situation I'm in.
One last question. Sarah, what would you say is the most important lesson you've learned in your life?
Oh, in my whole life? The most important lesson I've learned in my life, just to enjoy your life, and to be, and because, like, even if you're smoking crack on the sidewalk, or if you're writing a Nobel Peace Prize winning book, or whatever you're doing, like, just do it and enjoy it, because, like, what are you gonna do? Like, guilt yourself the whole time and half-ass it, and just, like, it's just like, what's the point, like, of doing anything, like, halfway? Like, I just try to be as positive as I can be, like, in the moment, like, and living in the moment is not always best. I mean, that's all I can do right now, but, like, it's just I mean, it's the only thing that's real. The past and present don't technically exist. In the moment, it's all we have and all you can control. So, I mean, a radical acceptance is, I guess I could sum it up like that.
All right, Sarah, thank you so much for sharing your story.
You're welcome.
I wish you lots of luck. I hope you get out soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.